For those of you who are unable to make it to back to school night, I thought I'd make a little recording of my short presentation so you can know a little bit about me and a little bit about who's teaching your daughter. So what I like to do the first day of school is, instead of the traditional assignment of um, what did you do over the summer, I tell them what I did over the summer, and again, so they can get a sense of who's going to be their teacher this year. So I started the summer with a trip to Big Sur, which is one of my favorite places to go. This is a panoramic view of from one of the hikes that I took, and here's another picture of me on that hike. And I don't know if you've never been to Big Sur, I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful place, and there's some nice places to stay. And um, I went on this trip with my buddy Norm, and Norm you'll be hearing about Norm throughout the course of the school year. Norm has been my friend since the 11th grade, so since I was your age, which was quite a while ago. Um, and so it's really nice just to think about having a friend for half a century or more, and it's pretty special. So if you're able to keep your friends for that long, it really becomes very worthwhile. And Norm was a math teacher for 25 years at El Cerrito High School up north, home of Creedence Clearwater Revival, if you're familiar with the group. And when I became a math teacher 12 years ago, he gave me a lot of advice. And then just over the summer, I finally completed my finalization of my teaching credential. And he was my official mentor and really spent a lot of time with me working on what was a pretty hard project to do it's called an induction program when you finalize your teaching credential for the state of California. And so he likes whiskey. So in the picture that's on the right, he's holding up this bottle of fine Japanese aged whiskey that I bought him, and we're having a little drink together up in Big Sur. And if you look carefully at the mug, you can see that it's a math question. So you can stop right now and see if you can figure out the joke, but it's actually really pretty funny. I did spend a little bit of time at the beach, not as much as I would have liked, as you'll see why in a couple minutes. But this is a pretty classic picture of my feet at Santa Monica Beach, which is where I like to go when I go to the beach. I usually go alone because my wife doesn't like the beach, which is really too bad. But or sometimes I go with Miss Grasso, who used to teach here, and so I do enjoy the beach. Do a lot of reading there and just kind of relaxing. But the main event of the summer was my daughter, who was on the right, and her wife. If you take a good look at my daughter's belly there, you will see she was very pregnant. So her due date was July 15th. And my wife and I went up there on July the 9th in case she delivered early, and we had plans to stay about a month, which we did. Figuring that she'd have the baby, and then we could help them out, maybe help them get a little bit of extra sleep, and they were really pretty excited about that. We had there's a little Airbnb literally next door to their house in the Oakland Hills, and so we could hang out in our little Airbnb, and we could just get over to their house right away, and so we got to spend a decent amount of time with the two of them. Because my daughter was 2 weeks late, which was, so we were there from July 9th. The due date was July 15th. You didn't have the baby till July 28th. So we were kind of hanging out a lot for about 3 weeks. And it sounds like 2 weeks is really pretty late. Not that late, because even though she's only 37, it's called a geriatric pregnancy, and they're generally later. But the standard deviation, bringing a little math back into the thing here, for a human gestation is 17 days. So she was within one standard deviation of the mean for delivering the baby. Well, while we were waiting, I was sitting on our little deck doing a lot of reading, which is something that I really enjoy doing. And over the summer, in part because I was sitting around waiting for 3 weeks, I read 20 books. Actually, I think this is 21 books. And I got lucky because I only have one loser in the whole thing. But if you want to talk about books, I've kept a list of books that I have read over the last more than 20 years. And I also have a list of my top 20, although I might have to change it because some of these might go on to my top 20. I'm not sure. So if you're interested, just let me know and I'll be happy to send it over to you. Um, this was the big event of the summer, though. This is her name is Remy, Remy, and in this picture, I'm guessing that she's 1 day old. So real cutie. And of course, that doesn't surprise. All babies are really cute, in my opinion. But of course, she's the cutest. Um, this is a picture of the two moms on day one after the birth, and my daughter is on the left. Her name is Rachel, although she goes by Roche, Roche, and her wife is Megan, and we're crazy about Megan. We really like her. I think we got lucky for having her as a daughter-in-law. Um, this is a picture of my wife, Leonie, with the baby. Uh, what did she say when she came back the first day after visiting with the baby? I can't remember what she said, but I think she said this was a life-defining moment. We have two other grandchildren, 11 and 8, so there hasn't been a baby for a while, but I think you can kind of tell that she's a little bit infatuated. These are the other two grandparents. They live up in the Bay Area, and we really like them. It's too bad we don't get to see them very frequently, but of course, they're enjoying the baby too. So those are Megan's parents. And then this is me with the baby. I guess you could say I look a little bit smitten myself. And, I really do like being a grandparent. Um, but I have to say, um, I actually prefer being a parent. There's something about the all-in characteristic of being a parent and that just really appeals to me. And I mean, I like being a grandparent too. I'm really excited about having a new one. Um, we'll be making some journeys up there to visit pretty regularly. But that's kind of the end of the summer slideshow. Hope you liked it.